Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastagram RPG podcast. This is Empire's End.
Hi, this is Dean. I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Victor Argus, Operations Officer or Ops.
Hey, I'm John, and I play Lieutenant Commander Poro Randar, callsign Metalhead, Commander of the Air Group or CAG.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt. I play Gaius Loctus Vilfug, and I am the Medical and Personnel Officer, or MED.
Hey everyone, this is Dan. I play Lieutenant Junior Grade Nero Orn, Communications and Intelligence Officer, or COIN.
And I'm Josh, and I'll be your Game Master. This is episode 17, Guests of Honor.
All these hungry, angry mouths, forgiven. Silence belly up for
The Kaleri are an interesting species. They seem cultured and sophisticated, yet almost tribal and fearless, the way Anwale and Alicia hunt the Askiri. Yet being inside Jevon's home and seeing the way they were able to blend delicate architecture into nature, blending their dwellings into the trees as well as into the sides of surrounding ravines, it reminds me of the way those vicious little Ewoks lived on Endor. Perhaps here it's the fauna of this planet that forces them to live this way, or perhaps it's just their nature. I wouldn't blame them. Between the aquatic parasites and the multi-eyed poisonous beasts, it is curious why they choose to live here anyway. I don't know how long this concept of Montali will last under the pressures of the FCF, but if we can make it out of here, I must try to learn more about Kaleri's society. It could prove useful once the Empire stabilizes. Perhaps avoid the same mistakes as Endor.
They're here! Somebody's outside.
Somebody's a knocking.
Somebody's a knocking. Yeah, you guys were just having a great little chat with Jevon. It's been a nice, we were just talking off mic a little bit, John and I, about, hey, at some point, 16 or 17 episodes in, it's time to learn a little bit.
It's time to talk to a local.
A single local of the dominant culture and species of the system to which you're assigned.
Preposterous.
I thought you guys knew how this worked. You just plant the flag and you go, this is mine now.
Yeah.
I mean, it speaks to the superiority of the Imperial Galactic that we took 16 episodes to even need the help of somebody.
Role-playing.
It is the most imperial fucking thing about this.
Yeah.
This group, this arc. I love it. But you guys did kind of learn a bit, at least about a portion of Kaleri culture. A lot of you have a pretty blank canvas, and you now have some pretty interesting experiences and knowledge as you're here in this village of Kita, small village made up of a little over half a dozen families, nested into these things they call dens, these kind of winding platform building, tree and tunnel, and yet relatively sophisticated structures. And you are there as Mentale. Some sort of protected guest status you were granted after giving up your weapons from the council, or whatever the family representatives are called. Jevon is the one you've been speaking most to, and his niece, you've learned, named Alicia, one of the two you originally met out in your dangerous little jungle sleepaway camp. Has just come running in.
Hope his end's better than that.
And said fairly tersely that they're here. I told you they'd come. He moves quickly to the door and he says, "You must stay and wait. Shut the door."
I hope they don't have blasters.
And he whisks down the hallway after her.
What do we do, Victor? Do we stay?
I wait till I hear these footsteps leave. I open the door.
Okay.
And I just look down the hall. Like, what am I looking at? Just the hall. I'm trying to remember coming through.
It's kind of there's a quick turn. There's a door opposite from you that's also closed. You hear a couple other doors opening and closing. Kind of, you're at the end of a T, basically. So there's another hallway off to your left.
Nero kind of appears at your shoulder. I believe
Nightcrawler.
I believe I know most of the way back, sir.
Very well.
But that's not the way we may want to go.
Exactly. Let's see if we can hear something for now. I don't know enough about these people to know if we should start prancing through the hallways. If we get spotted, we could be in trouble.
Nero kind of nods his head.
I keep the door open, though, so I can hear shit coming a little clearer. Cracked.
Okay. The private says, sir, I mean, we have no weapons if we stay here.
Where are our weapons?
They're out there somewhere. They took them up the left side of the valley.
Do you know where the weapons are? I look at you, Nero.
Only the direction they went.
Okay. I'm going to wait for a minute. I say sit tight for just a minute.
Sticks over at the side. He's crouched down over Slimu and says, Slim, his breathing's getting a little bit more ragged again, Doc. We got to move him quick. Get any more meds for him?
I have one med pack written on my sheet, but in that pack that Alicia gave us, did she give us any stims or anything like that?
Yeah, you've got some good basic medication. So when I said, one med pack, you basically have one full use of trying to like improve a mechanical assigned, like to try to get somebody from incapacitated to double wounded, double to single wounded, away. That's uses up that use. With the rest of the med pack, if there's kind of stuff that's more flavor or kind of open challenges, then you can kind of give it a shot with the first aid that you have.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just go with a first aid to see if I can, while Argus is at the door, I'll be seeing if I can't stabilize him a little more to travel. Maybe at least vertically and not laid out.
I look towards you, Doc, and I say, let me know when you're finished.
Yes, sir.
All right. Matt, give me a first aid roll. In the meantime, are any of you doing anything?
I say, once he's stable, we'll move out. I'm not going to stay in a dead-end room and wait for somebody else to decide our fate.
I'm going to look for something that passes as a weapon.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I mean,
some sort of improvised.
Can get at least like something made of wood.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's some knives, actually.
Yeah. I'll grab one of the knives that's on the board.
Okay.
So that is a 15 first aid, but I am willing to spend a character point.
Okay. Now with a 15, you can keep him stable in the condition he's at. It's at some point he needs higher level care. Basically, at some point, if you stay out in this environment, you're going to need to burn that med kit just to keep him kind of where he is.
Prevent infection.
At some point, at some point, you're going to be rolling
Word.
He will either. There's only so much you can do out here. He's not definitely going to die, but his condition is going to remain serious to critical, unless you can get him back into like a medical facility. Okay. From what you've done, you've stabilized him far more than he was after the crash.
Okay. I'll splint him up, tie off, probably get some sort of tourniquets on some of the worst stuff and look at sticks. You're going to need to help me. Every 15 minutes, we're going to have to release the pressure on some of these. I'll let you know which ones, but...
Shit, okay. He kind of grunts. You remember that he's kind of hurt too, as he grabs at his side. Who's closest to the doorway?
Me.
All right.
Argus.
And I'm standing opposite him.
Give me... Why do I keep forgetting? What do we use for... what's like your... Not baseline perception, but hearing shit, seeing shit. Is it
investigation?
I don't remember what we landed on.
Boy, we keep fucking kicking that
We're
around.
terrible.
For a game with a shitload of skills, I feel like there's
one
something
missing.
that's kind of
Yeah.
a little bit.
I know that perception is a game. But the thing is how much better as a human can you hear some shit? That might be why they do it that way. Like, oh, I got a 9 search so I can hear fucking everything.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Lestat all of a sudden. Fucking vampire hearing.
Just give me a
Base perception.
sure.
It's fun. 3D plus 2. 16.
Wow.
Okay.
17.
Damn.
18.
You hear soft, light footsteps
Approaching or moving away?
approaching.
Okay. I'm going to, I look to everyone in the room and I say, someone's coming. Someone's coming.
I step up to Orrin. I like put my hand on his shoulder, and I hand him the other knife.
I'm flat against the wall.
My boot. I pat my boot, and you see like the handle of a knife in my boot.
I shrug and I put the other knife in my pocket.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, I give it to you.
I put my back up against the wall, so if they come through the door, they're going to walk past me.
Okay.
I help you like start packing up the medical supplies, Matt.
Okay, yeah, I'm laying Slimu back down to make it look like he's laying there, not picking him up.
Okay.
Argus says to the assembled, I say kind of quietly, I say, I don't know anything about this mentality nonsense, but what I do know is that if we strike or hurt one of them or steal something, all bets are going to be off. So only do it when we have to.
Private Voss is there. He's got his knife. He's smuggled in out. He's down, kind of crouched low on the other side of the doorway.
I have to fucking go under siege on these guys.
Somebody give me a fork.
Rip out their Adam's apple.
Fucking Roadhouse.
You got 17, right, Dean? On perception?
18.
18? Goddamn.
I know,
Okay.
a 6 and a 4. Plus 2.
Let's say you're on the side of the door that is open.
Yes.
Slightly.
Yep.
Right? You didn't shut it completely, right?
I did not.
Okay. You kind of lean forward just a bit. You see a shadow kind of fall against the door. Some backlit. And
Is there a light switch in our room?
yeah.
I turned it off.
Okay. The lights switch out and you kind of hear some kind of sudden movement and kind of like a few quick steps outside,
Okay.
back away, and sort of they stop again. Something sounded different about those steps.
Okay.
Like they were kind of quick, like, rattled very quickly and easily.
Sure.
You kind of just stay.
Did they
Everybody's
sound
kind of
like
tense
a
and
Kaleri stride?
maybe
Not known
Too
for
quick.
their...
too quick?
Too quick.
Yeah,
So probably a human.
not tall enough for a big clip.
I, from the darkness through the open door, Sergeant.
No.
Show yourself.
A few steps, kind of close, and you see a small hand reach out. You realize it's only like a few feet up.
Okay. It's a kid.
The door
Child.
swings open. You see a Kaleri kid.
Knife in the armpit.
One of the two. You descend on him, and you make a fucking little Caesar right here. Little Caesar's pizza.
Not sponsored.
$5.
You see one of the two kids that was watching you pass earlier in the day.
Okay.
It's a young boy. It's hard. You guys don't really know Kaleri ages, but you'd guess like not even a teenager. Like if you're trying to compare it to a human, 10, 11, 12, 9, something like that, probably.
Okay. I turn the light on and I take a knee to lower myself to his level.
Okay.
Anyone in the room who knows Argus knows they've never seen his face look this kind and or bright ever. But I'm going
Take
to
the
make
gloves off.
I'm going to make a persuasion check
Okay.
and hope he can understand me. And I'm not conversationally fluent. I can just use words.
It's a kid, so
Okay. I'm going to try to ask him if he can tell us. What I want to communicate is for him to help us escape, avoid others.
okay.
So that is it. That's a good roll. 19.
19. Okay.
5D plus 1.
You crouch down. Young boy
Bright smile.
kind of looks at you.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a creepy image.
Just imagine Samuel with a big goofy smile.
All right. Victor Spacey kneels down and reaches out to this young boy.
I carry him across the threshold and throw him on the bed playfully. What? That's not weird, is it?
Oh,
Sorry. Jesus
God.
Christ.
now we're never gonna get that Little Caesars sponsorship.
Roll interrogation.
Give me the way out, you little cocksucker.
You start to express simple words.
Yes.
And he responds to you in Kaleri. He says, "You want see?
I nod yes.
Come, but
Not everyone.
quiet."
Okay. I say, stay back. I go with the kid by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I post up at the door.
Got it.
Yeah, I kind of take his spot.
I
Private
hide the blade.
Ivas like starts to follow.
I say, come on.
Okay. He follows along. He's got the blade out. He sees you put it away, and you see him just kind of like.
I'm just kind of hiding it down behind my hamstring kind of as I walk.
Okay. He turns.
I say to the kid, I'll bleed you real quiet.
You turn down. You go through. You go real quick
And leave you here.
give away our position again.
Hell yeah.
You go through a couple different rooms than you had before.
I'm trying to make a mental note of this
See
direction.
much more like furnished. You see what looks much more like a home. Bedrooms. You see pictures and art and
Cool.
toys and kid shit. And some tech. You see like a kitchen area with again, there's power. This place has power. And he leads you back out, and you're somewhere higher up, and then you come out to another one of these walkways, and he stops you.
Messed up.
And you kind of step out a little bit. You're not that far off the ground right below your feet, but you're now probably 30 feet off the valley floor.
Ah.
As it kind of slopes up to the side, you're a little bit up, going out to another one of these compartments built around the tree. And he stands there, and he puts his finger up to his mouth, and he points out, and right where you guys walked in, you see Jevon standing there with a group of 6. You see a couple of the Kaleri, their weapons unstrapped from their shoulder, and in the center there is a group of 4 armed Kaleri with armbands, and just back a bit from them is a human woman. You recognize your dear friend, Sela Lavar. You're too far away to hear language, but there's for you to pick up anything from body language from Kaleri means that this must be a fairly explosive
Contentious.
conversation. Yes. Just a couple sharp like arm movements, weapons not being pointed, but it could be a
Brandished.
felony brandish charge.
Yeah.
Easily. Easily a brandish charge.
So they have cell phones in their hand? Oh, wait, no, that's just me. My bad.
God damn player. Fucking ham sandwich.
And this goes on for a bit, and you see kind of Jevon kind of steps back into the semicircle of the Kaleri, and one of the armed Kaleri, the outsiders, turns back and looks at Sela. He shakes his head no, and he turns back and he says something sharp to Jevon, and you see them kind of stand impassively. And the 4 of them grab their weapons, their eyes sweep kind
I
of
duck out of the view shot immediately.
up and over. You wait a couple breaths and peek back out, and you see them walking back
Away.
away.
I say.
A few glances of back over the shoulder.
I go, hey, dickheads. Double fucking middle fingers. No, I
thought in your general direction.
Why are you here? It's none of your business. It's like the best line in the movie. It's so good. None of your business. It's fucking England. It is my business. All right. I say, thank you. and I go back to the room. Let's go private.
Okay. The kid follows you.
Okay.
He stops in the doorway, and you see him kind of looking back over his shoulder nervously, like he knows he's not supposed to be here.
I'm going to
And he says,
take my rank insignia off.
"You fly in stars?"
I say, yes, I remember the lesson I learned. I say, RACO, I point up, Nucleary, Unwally, Kita.
Someday, Nucleary, RACO.
I tear off my rank insignia.
Hearts and minds.
I tear off my rank
Well
insignia,
done.
and I have him hold out his hand, and I grab his hand, and I go, I just put
Love it.
I close his hand on it, and I go back to the room like a good prisoner
Take a character point.
mentality.
Very
Whatever the
nice.
fuck. Thank you.
Very nice. The kid kind of looks down and closes his hand around it, and then turns and scurries off.
Hearts and minds.
I've got a theory, guys. Bear with me. I'm pretty sure they have power on this planet because we're on Cybertron.
Badass, bro. That's the best ever.
Or I should say Unicron. Right?
That crazy voice. All right, I'll go back to the room.
Okay, yeah, this all happened like in the kind of the doorway of the room, or right outside of it.
Okay.
Kid scampers off.
I step inside.
What was it?
It was 4 FCF and Sela Lavar. It appears that Jevon persuaded them to leave.
For now.
Not much chance there.
For now.
Night falls. What will happen?
Exactly. Well, what are they going to station people all around this place, try to catch us on the way out? That's what I would do. Well, I look at the structure, say, I might do something a little more drastic.
Strike! Give them both back.
Extreme pressure, son.
If we can get communication to either the Major or RACO, we can at least drive them out and get an escort out of this place.
It just never occurred to me before to ask their opinion on things. And to perhaps ask, what should we do if we want to avoid detection? No, I say, I'm sorry, that's just an annoying edit. I say, indeed, I'm sure Jevon will be able to tell us the best way to leave this place undetected.
It'll be easiest for one of us to go to
And Wally.
Wally to get the communication out. Easier to hide one person than all of us. But that means we're out of communication with that person until they get back, or if they get back.
Yeah. Then we're playing pick up the pieces all across the goddamn jungles of New Caleri.
Or we break this mentally and try to break out of the village on our own.
Sorry, Josh. Now that we've been away from the ionization for some time, could we get our comm links to work?
So, episode before last, you had done some work between your data pad and Argus's comlink. By the way, there was remember that comlink you guys were listening to squawk?
Yeah.
Didn't pick up. Just remembered about that. Did a little listen back.
Yeah, right.
No, you did enough work. You kind of did some jumping with a battery power pack, kind of like a hard reset, basically.
Yep.
You have a functioning, but between the data pad with a comm link, a functioning ability to communicate in a relatively short range.
Sure.
In the clear.
Yep.
We can encode the message so that it's Imperial, but we can't encrypt it or hide where it comes from.
Right.
Is what
Right.
I think the
Yes.
where we're
So
at.
you could put out a broadcast. It's not just not encrypted. It's basically like, you're just bullhorning almost
Yeah.
because all those settings, all that
Location
encryption,
data.
everything is
Yeah.
wiped. So anyone that is, if they're before it was, hey, people are going to be listening. The Imperials will definitely hear because they're, for sure, your Imperial brethren are out searching for
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
The FCF is looking for you. You don't exactly know their tech capabilities, but they're not unsophisticated.
It's not insignificant,
Yeah.
that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Now, if they have a reason to believe you're in a specific location, you could pretty much guarantee they're going to hear whatever you
Sure.
say.
What about what's my best guess at the communications in Wale?
It's going to be a heavier boosted comm link.
Mm-hmm.
And it's less suspicious of where it comes from. Like
Correct.
it's gonna, we can
Yep.
encode it.
Yes.
And
It's
it-
going to be from a known
Yeah.
location.
I have some ideas about that too, in terms of who we direct it to and how. But that would mean we have to get there.
So a few things. Are we in character? How do you want to
Sure,
proceed?
we can jump in.
You
So-
tell me.
I'll basically, Jevin is probably going to come back and talk to you guys about what just happened. And then you can kind of consider your options. So maybe you want to wait and hear what
Sounds good.
he has to say first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, hey, pack your shit. We're handing you over. No. All right. So a small bit of time passes, and you hear kind of some multiple footsteps, and another knock on the door.
Hide the weapons.
I put the knife back on the plate or whatever.
Okay.
I open the door with my foot braced, so it can't just be blown open if it's a
Okay.
creep.
Jevin is standing there. You see a couple of the other men kind of back behind him. Not the elders or whatever you want to call them. They're kind of a couple younger men. Both are armed, not like brandished.
I say,
He kind of
mentally.
mentally.
I open the door.
He waits until you kind of like invite him in, gesture like a vampire, and
He floats in the
You
door.
silly boy.
steps in. And he
Boy's
says,
misbehaved.
I am sorry. I thought we would have more time. The resistors, they know you're here.
Very well. Did you tell them, or did they just know?
They know.
I nod yes.
They know that the trail ended here. They know that no one is in this village that does not belong. Only family and mentally.
I see.
They, I think, want very much to get you.
Of course, because without us, no RACO, no New Kaleri, no Unwale, no Kita. And they know that.
They will come for you. I do not know how quick. I do not know with what.
Within these, they'll come here.
I think yes.
Very well.
They have one of you with them, a woman.
Enemy. I say.
She holds power.
She, persuasion. She fights her own personal war against us using your people.
He kind of shrugs, not dismissively, but sort of like,
Not my business.
right.
Got it. Okay. I say, you've been gracious. We will not bring danger to this place. We will leave immediately.
You are mentally.
For how long?
You may leave. Some will go with you, if that is what you wish.
I look at the weaponry of the men behind him. Rifles?
Rifles, lighter. They're not like combat rifles. You know, like I said, more like a hunting rifle, a sporting rifle. I mean, you've seen them move.
Decent stats.
He says, we have a communicator. They will hear, but if you want to call, they will come. Your people will come, who will be quicker and stronger. Or if you wish to leave, or we can bring one to Nwali and try to return in time. But
I say,
Jevin,
can you give us 15 minutes?
yes,
Thank you.
is there a hidden way out of here?
for some time.
Nero nods and kind of stands as he stands to like walk out.
I open the door.
There were
kind of like-
4 plus woman. I think there are more, and the numbers will grow.
Of course.
You are Mentali. You tell us.
I nod.
We will go or stay.
15 minutes.
He nods.
I shut the door as he exits. Gentlemen, we have some considerations ahead of us. Tell me again about these communications. He said he can take one to Unwally.
Yes. There they likely have an upgraded comlink. One that wouldn't arouse suspicion.
What's the timetable? How long does it take to get to Unwally from here?
That we don't know.
Before he left,
Sure.
He said when he talked about bringing one to Unwally in return, he said even with quick as Shaylin's, not much rest. One day, at least there and back.
One there, one back?
No, like a
12 and 12?
a day round trip.
Okay. The second option was his comm.
Here.
What are the disadvantages to this? I look at Nero.
An
No.
immediate attack.
I see. So that's off the table. According to your expertise,
I would say so.
what's our other option?
If he said there's only 4 here and her, and maybe a few more in the jungle, if we make that communication here, send it out, encrypt it, let our people know that we'll be heading out immediately, and what direction and how long. We leave immediately. Perhaps they won't attack the village right away. They'll wait. Gives us time to get away.
You can't encrypt it. You can try to speak in some sort of like
Code.
field expedient
Wait a
code.
It would be whatever code we use for downed pilots, basically.
Hard to communicate like a lot of details with that.
Yep. It
Like
would be current location is obvious because of where the transmission's coming from, but it would be a like signifier code and then a direction of travel from this location immediate.
Yes.
I
That's
say,
basically all I'd want to get
Nero,
out.
Yes.
how hard would it be to convince this woman, Sela, that we were attempting to hide something that we were not, to misdirect her?
We can say it plainly, or we can hide it poorly.
I like hiding it poorly, but not too poorly.
Nero nods.
I would like to send them off in the wrong direction if you catch my drift. Some misdirection is what we need here. Something to buy us some time.
Nero nods slowly.
But still doesn't answer the question of the direction we need to get out of here. If we leave the safety of this village, what? Just a matter of time. Where do we go? Who's going to pick us up?
We can ask them if there's any open areas with easy extract. And if we send us a communication, we can hope to at least get some sort of transport or freighter in here within a couple hours.
Assume Ceciline's on the ball, as she always is.
They're already up there. I can only imagine that they are tracing our location, or they would know kind of where our shuttle was going.
We could.
They're going to know where the shuttle went down.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
I was going to say, Nero says in our open air message in the clear, we could suggest that we're doubling back to our ship to try to catch them unawares.
We could suggest that as the pickup point.
Correct.
Mhm.
In the meantime, we could ask.
Do we have old codes that we know have been compromised?
Nero kind of squints his eyes like he's thinking for a moment.
Nothing too obvious. Sela will be on the ball.
Anything a month old will probably have been broken.
Okay.
One of the, and I'm not saying this to
Sure.
push you or not push you in any direction, but it's just something you are definitely all aware of. You literally just said it. One of the biggest kind of dangling threats / unknowns is Sela, who, from all intents and purposes, from what you know, is a highly trained, highly experienced rebel operative
Right.
with a lot of experience
And
Sure.
resources.
Yes.
Yep.
So just like, yes, you can assume she certainly has experience with Imperial communications, but you know, she's no dummy.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
not that anything
I think
won't work
yeah.
necessarily.
I say, Nero says, to be clear, sir, I couldn't give false information while giving accurate information as well.
Of course.
I'd have to give the false, we make a break for it, and whenever we reach our rendezvous, we broadcast and hope that our people beat the FCF.
That might be our best option.
Um,
This woman managed to, Argus sighs when he thinks of the man. She managed to abduct Hethna, Commander Hethna. He corrects himself.
a little comfortable.
It's not that he's a bad officer. No kidding. I just go into the whole thing.
Give me a tactics roll, Argus.
Sure. Capital ship.
No, just bear. Straight up. And you have tactics too, right, Randar?
Yeah.
You can fire one of those off.
Yar. I'm rolling.
I'm rolling so hard.
I'm rolling right now.
Oh my lord, that was not good. Holy shit! I rolled 4-1.
Holy shit! I rolled monster.
And a 6.
Look at this! Look at this fucking roll.
I
Monster.
got a 10 with a 1 on the wild die on 5 dice. Sick.
My lord.
Nice.
I don't know nothing.
You think the people that came to the village
Yeah.
are your enemy?
He just starts
Nailed
going
it.
into killings with a knife, starting with the boy.
Victor, those people with the armband, I'm pretty sure they're my enemy.
It's
No,
almost like
no. They're mourning Kennedy.
it's like they're on a different side entirely.
Completely different.
What'd you get, Dean?
22.
Okay. You are confident that Sela is experienced enough. You know, it's one thing the FCF, they obviously have some, proficiency, but the
Easier to
experience of
trick.
Sela, even if she bites on something,
She won't
there's-
commit.
Not fully.
Understood.
There's going to be eyes on this village no matter what. It doesn't mean that it won't give you an advantage, but
Gentlemen, I do not like the Unwally option. I don't believe Sela will commit to any type of deception, regardless of how expertly it's done. That said, I think we're looking at just a race of time.
I glance at Slimu when you say that.
The faster we get word to Ceslin, the faster they will come here. One thing we do know about the FCF and their limitation is that we have air superiority on them. They don't have spacecraft that we've seen. And if they do, they've been hiding it quite well. I feel confident in any type of air power that we can bring down here. And I open the door and look into the hallway.
they do have a weapon
I was about to say
that
No,
could
yeah.
take something down.
Yeah.
But
they have
It took us
anti-aircraft.
down. Yeah. We'll give the position of that in this communication, by the way. Although they're going to know. I checked the hallway. Nobody listening.
no.
I shut the door. I'm willing to believe.
You see one of the Caleri further down the hallway,
Okay.
like almost like guarding.
Argus puts his hands behind his back and he walks away from the group. And as he's doing that with his back to the group, he says, I think I understand what this word mentale means. And he turns around and looks at all of you. Shark eyes. These people will die for us. I think to the little kid.
Matt, you think Argus is spot on with that assessment from what you've seen and your book and personal experience of cultures. You think the commitment of this word in this community means that much. You don't know if that's across the board for all Caleri, but you're pretty confident in that assessment right here.
That's it, Commander. That's what it means.
Indeed.
Well done.
And we stay here.
Defend.
We send the communication. We defend. We wait for our power. We wait for our people to get here.
Do you think they'll give us our weapons to defend them?
I'm not sure. I think if these people are attacked, they're going to want all the help they can get. They don't want their people to die, their children.
I'd hope. At the very least, if we can make it through, we can show them the true power. If you hold on long enough, air support will come.
Indeed. So, this is what we do. We give the We give Ceslin as much information as she needs. Of course, knowing that Sela will be aware of said information. I don't like the idea of splitting up and going to Unwally. I don't like this. I don't like the idea of striking out with a force following us with numbers we have no idea of what they are. There could be 50 of them. What chance would we stand then?
And if we make a communication and they attack, that's on them. We're attempting to exfiltrate.
Indeed.
I think that's a good plan.
We'll see how it works in practice, won't we?
Yes.
A few more minutes pass. You guys just kind of wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nero begins pulling up his data pad and starts writing.
Okay. Last will and testament.
My dearest love, I'm about to head to Antietam. I miss your scent.
The Union must and shall be preserved. Jevin returns a few minutes later. You see he's armed when he comes back. And he has kind of one of these forest gray, brownish mottled cloaks as he strides down the hallway. He steps into the doorway's open, so he kind of just steps up to the doorway. And he says, "What do you think?"
We're going to tell our people to come get us.
Here.
Yes.
You wish to use our communicator?
Yes.
The young, old, and weak will be deep in the dens. I
see.
think the resistors will come. I think they think to gain much, and they will risk much.
I see. Jevin, you believe they would kill their own people to get to us?
Yes.
It's not like the rebels in the movies, is it?
He kind of he says, now to them, right now, we are the same people.
Yes.
And when he says that, he indicates good fucking radio hand motions. He says, we are the same people, raising his hand like around the room between he and you.
Mm-hmm.
And right now he points to himself and out into the jungle are not.
I see. Will we be able to assist in the defense of this place
Yes.
with our weapons?
Yes. If we could, we would keep you all safe.
Not necessary. We will be part of what befalls us. We will have a hand in what befalls us. Edit that.
Onasi has idea that some leave on Shaylan's. Perhaps before you transmit, some of the resistors will think you go.
Wise plan. Let us know when we're clear to send the communication.
I will bring it. Your weapons, they will be brought to you.
If you have any magazines,
I think not the same. We have some of ours if you wish to use them. Not many. Not even enough for us all. And you will wish, I think, to pick spots.
yes.
Onasi is a good hunter. He and your sergeant can enter and can discuss where to be when you call.
Will you be leaving safely?
No, I cannot leave. I offer Mentali.
I see.
I would go with you even if none others do.
Thank you.
He starts to turn and he stops. He turns back. Is it so different if I came to your station with enemies? Would you not?
I look him dead in the eye. Of course we would defend you.
Give me a con roll.
You cocksucker!
No, I'm just kidding.
Gotta use a dark side point.
Nero looks.
You're lucky they're not too good at reading humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Nero looks away from that verbal exchange when he asks that.
Yeah, of course.
Who used the fucking analogy of, like when we have a prisoner and, we always treat him super good and stuff.
Yeah, that was me.
But you are a doctor. You might not know what happens all the time. Okay. Time starts kind of moving quick. A quick little montage. You guys get armed back up.
How do you feel about some kind of tactics roll to give us any kind of advantage in this montage?
I think that's a good bet.
Should we assist each other? Who's got it? What's your number?
5.
Mine too.
Okay. Anybody else have tactics?
Nope.
Sergeant Hurlick does. Say if you get a
I've got gambling.
who is the highest?
We've been doing it all
Five.
fucking
Okay.
session.
5. Okay. Whoever wants to make the main roll. Anybody else that can get
Wait
a
a minute.
15.
Wait a
added.
moment. Why wouldn't I use my command presence to assist in this matter?
There you go.
I'll do that.
Okay.
You're powwowing.
Yep. Well, I need to. The circumstances are such that I usually, according to our game master, the difficulty for me is 15. Success adds a D6 if I make it, and then an additional D6 for every 5 I beat it by.
Okay.
I'm going to say, call it a 15.
15 for this.
Yep. Are you directing Randar or Hurlick?
Randar.
Okay.
I wouldn't supersede the chain of command like that.
Okay.
I guess.
Hurlick will offer some advisement to you then.
Okay.
No, wait. Hurlick's back. Probably Hurlick, right?
Eh.
He's the fucking Marine. Although you have who's got the better fucking skill?
You don't fucking
I
see
can't
his
assess
character
my
sheet.
fucking talent. I do their reports.
They're pretty close to equal. They probably have.
What do you want? I guess the player character.
There you go. Plus 1D from Hurlick to you.
Okay.
He graciously does the good NCO thing and gives some good ideas quietly to the commission officer.
Yeah. You should.
The commission officer can then pass off.
Yes, we
as
should
his own.
definitely go up.
Oh boy,
That's 2 dice so
somebody's rolling hot,
26, bro.
hot
3
tonight.
dice.
Holy shit!
That was one character point,
far.
which exploded.
That's bananas.
26 on 6
So I
dice.
got 9 dice to throw out this tactic roll.
Okay.
So many dice I can't even hold on to. Of course, I roll a 1 on the wild die,
You motherfucker.
but it may not matter. 21, 24, 31 with a 1 on the wild die.
Drop high die.
So 25.
25. Okay. Very, very solid.
Yeah.
I would think the one the wild die makes sense to just of
Not,
great tactics, but different, very different,
Different kind of
environment.
tactics, yeah.
So, but you still,
but I take whatever advice that Hurlick
Yep.
has.
Onasi probably gives some too. Meanwhile, Orn is working on some comm stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, I will let you burn that med kit. You get 1 full use of it. If you want to spread that to more than 1 treatment, I'll raise the difficulty so you can get 2 treatments out of it. Basically, if you want to try to improve 2 conditions, like if you want to make, basically you could either make Slimu mobile, or you could try to deal with a wounded condition that Styx and Orn have.
Fuck.
Did our refreshments help our exhaustion?
Yeah, you haven't. There was that day some good time did go by. So everybody take your give me either a willpower or stamina roll.
Either or.
Your pick of 1. If you have the exhausted, DC 9 to clear it. Can't get worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
14.
Watch this.
14.
Willpower.
Oh, he didn't roll a 1 on the wild die.
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
You did it.
Exhaustions are gone. Matt, I kind of rambled there. Did you get what I mean? What I guess I meant is you could use that 1 use to either try to improve Slimu, get him mobile. He's still not going to be much of use in a fight, but maybe at least walking wounded temporarily. Or you can try to clear Orn and Styx's wounded condition.
So basically get 2 combat effective troops or 1 just able to
Less
move.
of a burden. Yep.
Sweet.
I guess tactically
you
it'd
roll?
make more sense to get 2
For the
combat
tactics.
ready.
25.
Okay.
That's dropping a 6.
Yeah, I guess especially since you are remaining in place, basically.
Yeah. Like we don't really have to move him far.
Okay. Then give me 2 first aid rolls. 1 for Styx, 1 for Orn.
Argus considers how
DC
much.
is going to be 15 for both of those.
Where
Argus
I
wonders-
crushed Styx.
You killed him?
And I failed on Orn.
Got a serial
No,
crusher
definitely.
theory.
You got
Definitely
a, I
failed
got a
Orn.
29 for Styx.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was a.
He's like the $6 million man. Better, stronger, faster.
Oh boy, that's
Just
a
when we
6 on
thought
the
you were-
wild die.
Oh, good.
No.
Good.
So we're at 10, 20, 23, 29.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Another
boy.
6, so that's
Things are coming up on.
35 plus 5 is 40.
You know,
Excuse
you're not bad
me?
at this
40.
medical thing.
Yeah.
40? 40.
My guy cracked the
Holy-
Emperor's personal safe.
Fucking 40? That's the first 40 in the campaign.
Yeah.
Dropping
Holy
40 bombs
shit.
over here.
All right. Yeah, Dan, wipe out those conditions for Orn. Faux show.
Okay, back in business.
You're feeling really good.
Feeling
New
great.
name, Dr. Feelgood.
So Doc is working on these guys. The communicator gets brought up. You hook it up with your data pad. Basically, kind of doing your best idea of what's kind of signal to put out there now.
Let's talk about that.
So
what we want to say.
okay, Argus and Orn can maybe have that discussion. Doc is there too, just because he's treating on them.
Him too.
All right, Randar is running around outside.
Okay.
Yeah, helping out with her. Like,
You'll have a brief moment when he comes back in. If you kind of want to wait till you're all together, leave Herlick to kind of distribute the rest.
yeah, he continues my great plan, and yeah, he executes it. Yeah.
All right, come on, let's do the awesome commander's plans. Officers are the best, aren't they? High five.
Yes. Keep doing what you're doing.
I can't wait till one of us gets killed and wounded and he gets a Valor Award.
That's the spirit.
Argus briefly considers if they would be apt to use explosives on us if we kept the children in the hallways.
We're the good guys, right? No, we're not.
Just saying. They're gonna fucking throw grenades in here. All right, here we go. They might second thoughts if they see that cute little kid face.
You throw that idea out there and then you see the kid. It cuts to him. He's in the doorway, wiping one tear away.
Holding the badge.
Tink, 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 tink.
All right.
I go back and take the thing out of his dead hand and
Pin it
sew
back on
back. I don't give a fuck.
And so you guys are all huddled back up. They're continuing to make preparations outside. And you guys have a brief moment.
The message,
Our location.
the potential size and disposition of the enemy force,
Including the ion cannon.
including the ion cannon, including what we have here, who's with them, and Ceslin knows the rest.
When I was out, like tactic,
When I was
gaining,
tacticking,
when I was gaining the tactical advantage on these.
Spoken like a
Fools.
professional.
Yeah. You know. Did I see any places that were like? Are there any clearings? Or as we're walking around talking to, Anasi,
they'll see him from their vantage point, especially.
asking Anasi, like, are there any places where we can down a freighter to get out of here?
So there's nothing close that you could land a ship in.
Yep.
There are spots over this little valley, the valley of this village, that you do actually get some clear sky.
Okay.
maybe a small repulsor lift could get in there.
Do one of those hillside exfils where the Chinook is sitting on top.
For sure, the NCC, they have those lines that are designed to go into very small clearings.
But we don't know if they're
They're
part
gonna
of
be
this.
Something like
mobilized.
that. You don't know kind of what resources are out there. Nothing that you could easily land a good size ship into.
Yeah.
Repulsor lift craft, nothing starship scale.
Okay.
Mm.
You would probably have to go to Nwali to land
Something.
like a freighter.
Yep. So Brandar will say,
Well, I'm sorry, strike that. There are places you could travel to. Nothing in the immediate vicinity.
multiple hour
Yes.
hike.
Yep.
So we need a repulsor lift evac.
Unasi, Brandar will say, speaking with Unasi, doesn't seem like there's many clearings besides a couple hours out from here.
Right.
I saw a couple spots where we could probably land a repulsor or two, get us on board. So we need to let them know that's our only exfil.
Assume Sela knows that same location.
Some of these were within the village wall, the village itself.
Ah,
So
good.
hopefully we can maintain that defensive ring while we exfiltrate.
She might not know that.
Hmm.
I doubt she set foot in here.
Indeed. We, I imagine we have flares. Yeah. I say, we can let them know. We can mark potential landing spots with flares.
Very well. Argus considers Sela for a moment. He admires her. Bet she would turn these people against each other. He likes that.
It's kind of hot.
We should brainstorm.
And by brainstorm,
Let me pick your brain. By pick your brain, I mean stick an interrogation probe into your central cortex.
And this will be sent. Well, I guess this is a bit more complicated. So the simple encoding that I have won't be able to specify that. It could encode the flare part, I think, of saying this is how we're going to signify the LZ, because that seems like a pretty simple thing that can be encoded as part of a SAR.
Yes.
But not necessarily the rest of it.
No, and depending who's listening, would a trained rebel operative possibly know some Imperial brevity codes?
Right.
There's probably not enough unencrypted comms that like those codes get changed constantly.
Yeah.
There's probably but it's possible.
Yeah. No,
It definitely adds.
Might as well do it.
Yep.
Rather than not. Yeah.
very well.
Let them know that we have the village defending until we can extract.
Well, we've learned a lot.
I'm going to want to hear this message word for word.
Okay.
Working on it.
Okay. Just saying, we can take a minute, if you guys need to, but think carefully about the situation you're in.
Yeah, in terms of
and what
who they're
transmit.
firing on, and
because it's only going to go off that. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some informed decisions made on their end, but
Yes.
we're going to have to identify our Clary somehow. Because we can't say that the FCF have armbands because then they'll take them all off.
Yeah, then
Well, there's no way that, if we're doing airstrikes, they're not going to see an armband, period.
Sure, I don't think their airstrikes are going to be the way at it because the ground, the trees.
They're going to have to take out the ion cannon.
Yeah, they will have to take out the ion cannon, but that'll be a kind of obvious threat.
Yeah.
But when there's ground forces, they're going to be dealing with our guys and the FCF. So there's got to be some way to distinguish us from them.
I mean, how much actual air cover are we going to get from them? I'm not sure. I guess it depends.
The canopy is pretty dense from, all descriptions of it. So it's going to be ground forces that are actually going to save us.
that being said,
Which aren't many.
ask the Vietnamese, you can dump a bunch of shit into a jungle and it does somewhat effectively in suppressing and or causing casualties. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they're not going to be able to precision strike.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you just say like fucking blast this spot.
area. Yeah.
It's not
you
a
know-
fucking Stuka at Dunkirk.
Yeah.
You know,
You
there's-
know-
they're like, we didn't see anything.
You know, it will blast into the jungle and cause damage. The jungle is not blocking starfighter scale weaponry.
I think we're more interested in the shotgun. Get in and get the fuck out. We're
Yeah,
not going
I
to
don't
stay
think
in
we're
a
gonna have ground
sustained
for it, no.
firefight down here. We're going to get overwhelmed.
Bear in mind also, whatever package they're sending to get you, the more they need to change it from what they have ready,
Already,
the
yeah.
longer it's going to take.
Sure.
I think the only thing
I'm assuming search and rescue is already like in operations.
Almost guaranteed.
I'm-
You do guarantee they have something. They have a plan on standby just
Yeah.
waiting to identify you.
I think probably the only thing that's going to slow it down is the repulsor lift because they may not have those. They may have them in area too.
Difficult LZ, hot LZ, can't land, have to use repulsor craft
Yeah.
within the walls of the place. I mean,
Far, I mean, I have requesting immediate pickup, repulsor lift evac at LZ coordinates, blah, blah, blah.
assume resistance from anybody outside the compound. They're not going to start differentiating targets within the walls.
I may get I don't know if this will come across from them, but a distance from, like, how big is this village, distance wise, and get a ring and say from this communication, 1,000 meters out is hot.
With you were like 25 on your tactics.
Yeah.
The best way to distinguish friend from foe is just to say our people are here.
Yeah.
And their people are there.
Anyone outside there
That's the compound.
is a target,
Right.
Yeah.
and then either have some way of visually indicating what that perimeter is.
Does this place have walls?
No, because
There are natural canyon walls.
Okay.
it's all in canopy too, so it's going to be hard to visually see structures and stuff with
Okay.
underneath the canopies. Smoke, if we have it, or flares. So they're really the only ways we're going to differentiate a perimeter.
There is power. There is
Yeah.
electrical things.
Structures. There's,
Yep.
yeah, it's lived in.
But most of that they can't identify from the air.
Maybe as they get closer.
And there are open spots.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
whole perimeter,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I honestly think a distance from this center of communication is going to be the easiest way to say this is an
To give them like a
this
radius,
is a hot zone to attack.
like a cone.
Yes. Yeah. Because I
90
imagine
degrees
there's
west, X amount of meters type of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would, like 300 meters?
Well,
That's pretty far.
yeah.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah,
Especially in the jungle. They're not even gonna, they can't even engage us until they're 25 meters away?
you think every from a center point, every thing that is part of this village is within 100-meter radius for sure.
Okay.
If not
Easy
less.
enough than anything outside that.
Yep. And we know that Unasi and the rest are going to be, whoever is not in combat will be in shelter within the caves further inside that bubble.
Yeah.
So presumably that danger close isn't so close. I also asked Unasi if they had smoke grenades or any indication, any flares, any different colored flares.
He says they have like signal rockets that shoot up. And maybe some like strobes. He says you can put in clear spot or you need to get up into tree.
Okay. I task Unasi in placing the strobes at the limits of the village.
Of where
So
they're,
so they're visible from the air, and say that anything outside of these strobes is free to fire on.
yeah, make sure he knows the same for if he's got outriders or whatever the
Yep.
fuck.
And LZ will be a shooting flare up using their signal flare.
All right. So you guys are
Heavy resistance is the word you want to use.
Yeah.
you guys are gathered up in the valley. Jevin, Onasi, Alicia are there for the Kaleri. Most of the others are kind of on perimeter posts already. The 4 of you, plus Sergeant Herlick and Private Avas, and did you leave sticks with Slimu, or what's your plan for?
And close
for
to
that?
the LZ, less distance to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Those two
think.
guys.
I mean, I think I would. Vilfug would try to stay with Slimu, probably assisting.
Okay. So let's say you brought him out. Remember when you first kind of entered that kind of that whole compound, this den thing they call between the tree platforms and into the tunnels. You entered close to ground level, just on a small platform up. That first kind of chamber is where you have Slimu staged. Styx is there. Doc, you poke your head out, and just for this kind of final huddle up slash, like in the movies when they actually just communicate the plan in 30 seconds right before they execute the
Yeah.
plan. So you're all around. Orn has the communicator. Everyone has their weapons, armor, whatever it is that you have.
If Jevin could offer a sporting rifle, I would have taken it. If he couldn't, that's fine.
Okay.
I got 3 shots on a rifle.
It's not bad.
It's not great.
He says, we have 11 rifles. Each will be in the hands of one. If you need one.
Nope. I
it'll
let
be
him
one of
keep
us.
it.
So,
Even though I'm a cracked shot lately.
so yeah, it's Onasi and Alicia have rifles. Jevin does. There's 8 others. He says the rest are further in, some with weapons to defend if any get too close.
I see.
But them is 11.
Jevin, you seem real worked up about it.
So Herlick says, all right, so we call out there and
We're going to have smoke indicators and a signal flare.
hold down the fort.
Hold down the fort.
Make sure, Anasi, your people do not go beyond those beacons.
We tell Jevin that too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who has operational command here.
Onasi clearly defers to Jevin.
Yep.
Okay.
I only tell him because we were working on
Okay.
it. So yeah.
You also notice that they defer to you guys tactically.
Okay.
It's as obvious that they don't have there's no pride issue with this being more in your realm
Sure.
Yeah.
as it was like you guys going through the jungle was clearly not
Correct.
as much in your realm.
Mhm.
All right. So you huddle up. So I don't know if you guys can picture this well enough, this battlefield setting. Like I said, the stream running right through the middle of this. You look up, there's patches of open sky. It's getting late in the day. The sun is not setting, but it's well into afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So you still get some sunlight that's filtering down. It's relatively flat right around the stream, but pretty quickly rises. The top of these ridges out of sight amongst the trees is probably at least 50 meters up and 100 meters out in each direction. So it is almost a little bit more of an oval
Sure.
than a full circle, but you are fairly well contained. So the only ways in are either at either end
Okay.
or to come up and over the ridge.
Quick question for the game master.
Yes.
As daylight is fading, Argus strikes me as probably wanting to send that communication at dawn. I think daylight's our advantage to engage them from a range.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait. I don't want this to go into the night.
Going to hold through the night.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll fire that fucker off.
It will be
Better for the search team, too.
better for the search team. Better for visibility, less chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a lot easier to infiltrate
Exactly.
in the night.
Mhm.
For lines to get mixed up, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is more time.
Yep. I
On the
understand
other
that.
hand,
Sadly, that's we have to make that sacrifice for this.
all right. So you probably have post heavy watches throughout the night. do get a bit of rest.
Another advantage.
There are a couple shots ring out in the night. Both come back as negative contact. Probably the Marines take turns playing Sergeant of the Guard. Itchy trigger figures.
Our guys were shooting.
Yes.
Yeah.
One was actually the private himself.
Okay.
One in the case of a Cleary. Hurlick, you're kneeling down. It's pre-dawn now. The night has passed without any more incident than that. You are all a bit more fed and rested, but certain your nerves are amped up knowing what is coming.
Is the only way to get rid of a wounded condition with a med pack?
Or time.
Okay.
Yours is gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
That's
fucking
right.
40?
Sorry, the 40.
Yeah.
The 40.
Yeah, bro.
Lose a character point.
I was writing the message.
He essentially cast Cure Light Wounds on you.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Cure moderate 40.
Yeah, true.
And you guys are in that pre-dawn, that kind of first brightening. What is it? Nautical twilight? Beginning of morning nautical twilight?
Civil.
BMNT.
Oh, yeah.
If I could mix them up. All right. And Hurlick says, Evas are not the most experienced. These Cleary, I don't know how many have been in a conventional fight. Might have been nothing, might have been a creature. If I was out there, I'd be checking our lines.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that they have an idea of where we're at.
I'm sure. The regulars might be exactly what we need.
All right. What is the message? And
before you send it, we want to try to get an ETA on them coming back. Can they return communication? I don't know if that's a...
Yeah.
in the same, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Make sure that they are aware that this is an open... They'll know, but make sure they're aware this is an open communication. And then assume it's compromised immediately.
Be aware that any information you ask in return,
Of course.
assume that everyone is hearing it.
That's why I want them to know before they return communication. Because Ceslin will know, okay.
Yep.
Right.
Hours could seem like days.
Nice work.
Yeah.
From a certain point of view.
A lie?
Omission.
Exaggeration.
Aw, that's cute.
What you want is irrelevant. What you've chosen is at hand.
I want to know what the message is and where you guys are each going to be. And if you want any, I tried to kind of
Full
give
cover.
some idea of the layout, but give me an idea of where you are going to be. So like I said, it's kind of this oval shaped, sloped up in every direction, streams at each end, less than 100 meters from the furthest point of the perimeter to the center. And these dens kind of scattered around the tree stands are all kind of closer in towards the middle, all under 50 meters from the center point. You have Slimu with sticks and possibly the doctor in one of them. And that central point along the stream are the areas where there is any kind of clear openings to the sky.
Are you done? Because I want to read my message.
I think what we want to be. I think we want to be in a position to where we can utilize the structure as cover, and we can gain some kind of overwatch should they decide to. I want them to have to really come and fucking get us. I don't want to have the structure that we can utilize and then just be outside of the structure getting shot at. I think that's silly. I want to, if we can defend from inside, use windows, use corners. I don't.
There's not much in the way of windows, right?
Yeah.
It's just the openings.
Yeah, there's some
There's
openings.
room.
Not in the dens.
Yep.
Yeah. No vantage point from the den. Obviously, I don't want to do that. I want to see him coming as much as we can.
Okay.
Just
Your minds jump back, especially those you more tactically minded, Argus and Randar in particular, to the first fight with the FCF. And there's some similarities here.
Sure.
The shuttle was down. You could basically stay in the shuttle, have the best available cover in a spot where they know you are and they can maneuver on you.
yeah, we don't want
They
that.
came up through the fucking trees. They set up crew serve weapon basically. So, and I'm not pushing you. I always want you guys to make your own mistakes. You can trade off, to be in a spot elsewhere that might allow you to kind of maneuver on them, you're not going to have as much cover. You're going to be more exposed. You're going to be more at risk.
Of course.
But that is a couple of your options.
Yeah, I don't want to be so holed up that we lose the advantage of them having to cross a pretty vast distance.
Yeah, right.
I want to engage them when, to be frank, I'd like to engage them as soon as we can and force them to come all that way through under fire, because that sucks.
And I guess actually that's part of the question too is, not just for the four of you in particular, but your assets, the two Marines and the Kaleri. Do you want everybody kind of pushed out, trying to hold this ridgeline perimeter?
Probably, if we can stay.
Or you give up the high ground.
Don't want to do that.
And you collapse to the middle.
Never
if you're
give up
holding
the
the
high
perimeter,
ground.
though, and they focus on one part of that perimeter, you have basically, including the Kaleri and your Marines, not including the two pilots, one is down, one is his
they're out
guard.
of commission.
You have 17 people
Okay.
to cover.
That's a good perimeter cover.
To cover 2 football fields wide.
Oh, it's 200 meters. I was thinking 100. Why?
100 from the center.
Oh.
Under, like 100 at the furthest point. Like I said,
it's a radius. Okay, got it.
It's a oval. So it's, maybe 60, 70 meters wide, 100 meters out.
Okay.
So, like I said, you can do it. You'll be spread more thin.
If you had like small like pairs that would like kind of collapse back, so they have to they're under fire as they come in, that might work too.
No matter what, you guys got a great tactics role. So we're not tacticians here.
Sure.
Right? We're people playing Star Wars.
Yeah.
But so I think of this more as kind of flavor of how the fight is going to go.
Of course.
You're going to deploy your forces well either way. It's more of like either an Alamo kind of situation or like spread out in the jungle lines. Like,
well, I think the only because we don't have too many options for an LZ, I think we have to be more Alamo, because if we get spread out and then cut off from the LZ, we have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be more LZ or Alamo around the LZ.
My only concern is explosives, but what else are we going to do? We don't want to be far from the LZ, that's for sure. We're not, assume we can't win this fight on a long enough timeline.
Right.
So.
And we're hoping that
one of these days we'll be doing the landing, boys.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a fucking pasting. It's going to be great.
are you going to MacArthur your way out of here? I shall return.
What the fuck?
Get those little fucking boots wet.
AT.
Okay. Do you guys all kind of want to co-locate then?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We want to be able to communicate too.
All right.
That's huge. We're not going to be going like fucking like through the fucking jungle and shit.
Yeah, message time.
What's the message?
Should we proof this before
Sure.
you just shoot it out there?
So the rough message is, this is Lieutenant Junior Grade Nero Orn, Imperial Designation Number 7065T11, requesting immediate pickup, repulsor lift evac at LZ, coordinates 41 degrees, 39 minutes, 6.49 seconds north, minus 70 degrees, 56 minutes, 1.34 seconds west.
that
Exact
here?
enough for you, Josh?
That's New Bedford.
I was going to say.
Assume heavy resistance, hostiles in immediate surrounding area outside of a 100-meter radius of LZ. Ion cannon, anti-aircraft present. 5 confirmed enemies. Numbers could exceed 20 or more based on ETA. We will likely be under enemy fire once this message has been received. Confirm message received. Assume transmission is compromised. What is your ETA?
Perfect. One other thing I would add, friendly assets, nuclear within perimeter, just so they know. Within 100-meter perimeter. But that's it. That works. We send them.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking
Let's do it.
Fucking
go. Okay. And so you've kind of pulled back. Maybe you have
That's our flavor.
a couple of the Kaleri are maybe in like outpost spots. They have like eyes to relay. Basically, you're giving up the perimeter for the sake of consolidating your firepower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Onasi says we should know when they are coming. I think some will come over the top and look down and then open up a way for others.
This is Onasi talking?
Yep.
I say,
Alicia's right there with him. Those are the two that are actually, and Jevon that are with you guys. The other the other 8 Kaleri are spaced out around a few more of these dens. Alicia's holding a rifle.
Not a lot when you say it like that.
yeah. I was going to ask him something. I've decided not to. I was going to ask him what happens when we leave. Onasi, what happens when we leave?
When you go?
I nod.
I don't know.
Very well. I mean, we're just a phone call away.
Don't worry about it. Just we'll come. Yeah.
Cruise back in here.
We will absolutely come and save you.
Our debt will be fulfilled mentally in the older ways that would be honored. Things are different. I don't know. My uncle said that you would take care of us when we came to the space station.
I'm looking forward to the comedy arc where Victor has little Kaleri kids running around.
So picture kind of cinematically, you have this conversation softly while in the background you hear Orn broadcasting over the comms. And there is a short pause, and then you get a quick response. And
stay where you are.
This is Brain Slug 27. Copied your message.
Brain Slug 27, we read you loud and clear. The RACO station's been completely compromised. It's a party up here.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them.
You get a blame, Brain Slug, and you get a Brain Slug. Look under your seat, Brain Slug for you too. Fuck.
there's a short pause that feels never ending to you guys. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You're thinking about keying in the transmission again, and then you hear the quick response of Cass answering.
Good.
Says, receipt confirmed. ETA 5% of 1 watch. Out. You kind of think in your head quick. Watch on the station is 4 hours, 5%, about 12 minutes.
Not bad. An eternity in a firefight, but not bad.
And the line goes blank. And then you hear like a click into the line once. And then pause.
The listeners.
A female voice. We'll be there much quicker than that. And we'll see you next week.
Take me on your mighty wings. Take me on your mighty wings.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Nastagram. We hope you're enjoying Empire's End. You know the deal. We're going to ask you to spread the word, tell a friend, post about it online, do whatever you can, ratings, review, everything helps. And get involved. Got a great community over at Facebook at the Nastagram RPG Lounge, or just pop over onto the website, nastagrampod.com, links to all our socials, and bonus content and more coming soon. Our intro music, as always, is by a Wilhelm Scream. Scores this arc are from both Adrian von Ziegler and Antti Markkainen. We'll be back with another episode next week. Why don't you bring a friend?
That's nasty.
Dan, this isn't
Out
a
of
fucking
context.
character background.
No, I got it.
Transmission.
What did you get?
You're all
Josh
going
is
to
giving
be...
you mixed signals. I don't know exactly what you fucking say. Hurry the fuck up.
It doesn't mean write more.
No,
it
what do you
means
want?
be accurate.
Brevity.